Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus, of course, for the first live stream on a Tuesday of 2023. So hello everybody, thank you for joining me. I can see you in the live chat room tonight, and I was a little bit behind schedule because I was just chatting with Carla over on Facebook. Then I realised the time was like 59 minutes past 11 here in the UK. So we were almost at midnight. Realised as well that I hadn't set up the poll, which I've just done for tonight's cover video. And then had to jump over to Patreon to see the requests for tonight's videos. And we did start with Running Blind. And that was Selena who requested that over there. So thank you guys for answering my requests, and it is literally just a case of looking quickly at that and picking out the Hotel California Broken Wings for the cover video, and then starting with that song that we just heard, which is one of my songs called Running Blind, and you can get that over at wingsofpegasus.com/music. But let me get you guys up on screen. I see who's in the live chat room tonight. The other thing that I have been doing is trying to reset everything to the normal live stream so that it's just in the Wings of Pegasus purple now. And I had this Christmas decoration that I could not get rid of. I couldn't find the button where it was. Everything was off the screen apart from the Christmas decoration. Let me just click on that. Oh, it wasn't that. There was something around the live chat room that was like holly or something, and it just wouldn't remove itself. But it has gone now, which is good. Let me get the names of my patrons up on screen because they make this possible in the first place. You know who you are. Their names go across the bottom of the screen throughout this live stream and every live stream we're going to be having in 2023. Anyway, let me see who's in the live chat room tonight. We have Neil in there, Bonnie, Billy, Jennifer, Tortora Porco, Deborah, Anna, Cindy, Linda, and Selena going through there, Terry, Tom, Vincent, Rocker Girl, Stephen, Deborah, Mary, Francis as well. Hello guys, thank you for joining me. And yeah, interestingly, when I was chatting with Carla, it's one of those things that it reminded me of somebody else who commented on a YouTube video, just in the comment section, saying, I've just found out on Google that you're worth $13 million. And they said, is this true? And I said, well, if it is true, I'd like them to deposit that into my account as soon as possible to back up their claims. And actually previously somebody asked me a few years ago if I was worth 3 million. And all these things that you see online that are written by I don't know who, that you think that you're worth lots and lots of money, but unfortunately that's not the case. I'm just a normal person. I'm not a super rich person, but yeah, if they could make sure that that is deposited in my account, as I said, that would be great. But yeah, it's just one of those things where these things fly around. Also, in the papers here, many years ago, when I was on a show called The X Factor that they have here in the UK, I think they have it in other countries now as well. Actually, it might have stopped, and then I think The Voice took over, or The Voice is a different show, I don't know. But here in the UK, the same channel that had The X Factor have now got The Voice, so they're kind of paying for it. I think Simon Cowell's in charge of The X Factor. In fact, I know he is, because when I went on that show, I made sure that I did one of my songs, so it means that he has to pay me a royalty whenever they show my audition. But anyway, aside from that, yes, these things that they came out with, like in the papers, they said that I had been in the West End in, I can't remember what it was, maybe Rock of Ages or something like that. And yeah, I've been in there for multiple seasons, and that was my background. And I'm not, well, they kind of had it right that I wasn't who I was pretending to be on the show, because I just went on there for a bit of fun to show that if you just act outrageously, you will get yourself on TV rather than them focusing on talented musicians, of which there were plenty who were sent home. But then I was just acting outrageously and got on TV. And the TV stage, by the way, I think is 4 auditions into the process. So everyone thinks it's the first audition, that people are just turning up. But this is where you realise that the people that aren't very good, that they are setting up to make fun of, they're setting them up 4 auditions in a row. So the person thinks they're doing well and must think that they've got a great voice and that finally their dream's going to come true, but then they're just set up to be made a fool of, unfortunately, on TV. So yeah, I just wanted to expose the fact that, yeah, if you just act ridiculously, then you will get on TV, just to show what those TV shows are all about. But some of the newspapers that were trying to get behind, who I was and what I did, they didn't quite get it right. But yeah, these things that get printed that are interesting, I don't know where they get these stories from. They must have a source. They can't just be, or maybe they just make it up, just literally come up with something to fill the columns of their newspapers. But anyway, let's get back to this live stream and get the stuff up on screen that we need to see, because we have a likes goal tonight of 335. So that's what we're aiming for. If you haven't hit that thumbs up yet, then if you could do that, it'd be massively appreciated. If you are in that live chat room, if you can leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be great. And we'll see if we can make some inroads into that likes goal. Let's see where we are at the moment. It is set, or it is at 196. So almost up to 200 likes. We are making our way to that 335. Would be cool to hit the first likes goal of 2023 on a Tuesday night. Right, for tonight's live stream, what else have we got? We've got the pick roulette, of course. We've got, I think, just one picture tonight. We're also going to have the cover video, and I can see that Broken Wings currently has 57% of the vote. So have your vote in that. The other song is Hotel California. So if you're a fan of either of those songs, it'll be my version of those. You can have a vote, and we'll see what we are going to be listening to a little bit later on. Right, let's jump into... I can see that Jennifer just donated, so thank you for that. But I know that there have been other donations in the super chat window. And just to mention that you don't have to donate, just watching this live stream is fantastic. Maybe hitting the thumbs up, getting that likes goal a bit closer to us. We're currently 106 away now. As soon as I started saying that, I instantly regretted it because I realised I had to do some maths. But here we go. So 105 now. I think that's what we're looking for in order to hit that pick roulette likes goal. But yeah, getting into the donation side of things, I do put up on the screen just so you know that if you can't resist it and you do donate, you don't have to, but if you do, between 35 and 45% goes to YouTube through the super chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link in the description below if you want to do things that way. So we do have actually some PayPal donations, and I will get through those. We get through all of the donations, even the ones that happen between the live streams. So yeah, don't worry about that. We will just get through the super chat donations that disappeared, and when we go live, they disappear from the screen, unfortunately, but I'll make sure that I grab them before we go live. And Paul donated $2. Thank you for that, Paul. And the message was, please spike the likes, all y'all, OSK, with a smiley face. And that is Orlando's sidekick, of course. So thank you for that, Paul. Jennifer then donated $5. Thank you for that. And the message is two-part, question mark. I hear about famous pickers who, when they died, someone famous bought their guitars. And yeah, let's get to the question. So there's another donation for $5 from Jennifer again. Thank you for that. And the part 2 says, should the family have first rights on the guitars, and should the person who bought it give it back if they wanted it? Take care. So thank you for that, Jennifer. And this is generally something that's organised by the families anyway. So if somebody is very famous, very well-known guitar player, when they die, they will have a will, and in their will, they will leave their possessions to family members, or sometimes they will leave it to a museum, for example. So it's all organised in their will when they die. So somebody who wants to buy the guitar would have to talk to the estate that is now in charge of it, generally the family members who it has been left to, and then buy it from them if they are willing to sell it. So it isn't a case that when somebody dies that it's a free-for-all and everyone can just go and buy a guitar of somebody's without permission from the people that rightfully own it, which will then go to the family of the player who's passed away. So yeah, that's all generally kind of above board. And, it might be the case that the family sell a guitar for a particular amount of money and then years later say, oh, we want it back. But with sales, you can't do that. Anything that you've genuinely bought then belongs to you, and that's the way that it works. And they shouldn't have sold it in the first place if they were then going to regret it in the future. So, yes, I haven't heard of a case where, unless it's theft, where somebody's actually stolen a guitar without a permission or the family's permission. But yeah, it's all organised, so that shouldn't happen. And once you buy something, then it belongs to you, and that's just the way it is. And it might be the case that they buy a guitar and then sell it to a museum or loan it out to a museum if it is a very well-known guitar player. But generally, it'll be one of those two things: family or a museum that is donated to, for people to enjoy. So thank you for that, Jennifer. And Jennifer donated again $5, and the message was, Phil, you are a millionaire. You have many caring friends. That is worth a lot. So thank you for that. And yes, I would say that I'm rich in the people that I have, like my family as well, and you guys joining me on the live streams, and my channel interacting with you guys over on Patreon as well. So yeah, not quite rich in the money sense, but I would say that I've got absolutely nothing to complain about, because I'm, able to do this and interact with you guys. And I know that there are many, many people here in the UK who are struggling at the moment just to heat their houses. And fortunately, the weather isn't crazy as it was, like -11. It is a little bit warmer, but still, we need to heat our houses. So yeah, it's a really difficult situation here in the UK. And I saw in the news that in places in Europe, it was like 19 degrees Celsius, and at some ski resorts, all of the snow had melted, so it's just like grass on a mountain. So yeah, crazy temperatures going on in Europe at the moment, and they were saying on the news that obviously it's just a sign of global warming, and that we're going to have to get used to these temperatures just being totally different to what they usually are. I can't remember which country it was, but it was 5 degrees or maybe even more than that above their record ever. And they say, sometimes it'll be point something of a degree above, or maybe 1 degree above, but to be 5 or more is just a ridiculous amount above. So yeah, something's kicking off with the weather, and just to have it be that warm at this time of year, they said that, yeah, we're going to have to start getting used to these just crazy changes in temperature. I mean, like I said, -11 we had here in the UK, and that's probably, 4 or 5 weeks ago. And yeah, in other places in Europe, it's now 19 degrees. Like, at the beginning of winter is absolutely crazy. But anyway, thank you for that, Jennifer. Jennifer donated $5 again and said, Phil, the reason I ask is because Paul owns the late Bill Black's bass and his family wants it. Okay, well, thank you for that, Jennifer. And if Paul actually has paid for the bass, then, like I said, you own it. Unless you've taken it and then it's not actually yours to have. But as long as there's a bill of sale and it's from one person to the other, it might have been the case that it was sold during the person's lifetime. That's the other scenario, where you might buy the guitar from a player who's very well known, and then the family say, oh, we want the guitar that our, dad, mum, sister, brother sold to you when they were alive. And you can't do that. Unfortunately, as much as they might want that guitar, it was their loved one's decision that they made to sell their guitar. So you can't go back and start claiming things that your family owned. I could go back and say, right, all the stuff that my granddad sold to other people, I'm going to go to those people and now I want his stuff back. So that's just the way it is, unfortunately, for the family. But yeah, it is a bit silly to start wanting to reclaim things that the person in their right mind sold on, and it's just their decision. That was their decision, and you have to just stick by that and stand by that and just accept that that was your family member's decision, and you can't go back on that. There's no recourse for that, unfortunately. But anyway, thank you for that, Jennifer. Get Some J has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that. The message is, when you cut your hair, you should auction it off to the ladies in here. You'll be a millionaire then. So thank you for that, Get Some J. And definitely in need of a haircut. I'm going to message my hairdresser tomorrow, I think, and book in something, because usually it kind of hangs about here. Now it's actually resting beyond my shoulder length. Actually, look, if I pull it, wow, if I straightened my hair, it would go down to about here. So yeah, really long at the moment. Bit crazy. I was due for a haircut actually well before the whole COVID thing. I guess because my hairdresser got COVID and she had to cancel, and then I got COVID, so I think I'm probably about 2 months past a haircut, so I will definitely do that. But I don't know, I'm starting to look a little bit like classic 80s, where the guys that did have long hair, they did actually straighten it, and it did go down to about this length, so I'm kind of semi-tempted to keep it really long, and then I'll straighten it and I'll look like proper 80s. But yeah, we'll see. Definitely my fringe has to be addressed, because it is a minor miracle tonight that I can see, because I thought I'd have to go for some really weird centre parting that I used to have to do when we were in lockdown, and I had just about 3 months worth of hair, or extra length of hair. But at the moment, it went into this kind of weird side parting thing, which means that I can see. So yeah, as I said, a minor miracle with the hair. But thank you, Get Some J. And yeah, I'm not really into auctioning off things, and there's been some really weird things on the internet about auctioning off. Generally it tends to be guys that are buying things that girls are auctioning off. And I was talking to this about my brother-in-law at Christmas, about the different crazy things that get auctioned off. And one of the things that came up, somebody auctioned off their bathwater and they made a ridiculous amount of money, and it was a female that was selling her bathwater, and lots of guys spent lots of money, and I think she just did it on eBay. But then we thought, well, that's something that you could then just sell water and say it was your bath water, and it could be just something that you've sold 2 million litres of bath water, like the biggest bath ever. If people are stupid enough to buy it, then go for it. Just keep it going, just keep filling up bottles with tap water. But anyway, there you have it, the crazy world in which we live in. So anyway, thank you for that, Get Some J. Right, let's get over to the PayPal window, because we've had some donations over there, and one that came through was from Chuck, so thank you for that, Chuck, and that is for £2, and that happened at 10:35 on Monday morning, so yesterday morning. Thank you for that. Roseanne has donated £7.93. Thank you for that, Roseanne. And the message is, Phil, I was wondering if your twin nephews are identical. If so, do they try to fool people by switching places? Easy answer to that, no, they're not. They look very different, actually, so there's no way of fooling anybody with which one is which. So yeah, twins but not identical. So thank you for that, Roseanne. And going into the next one, Nicole has donated £10.08. So thank you for that, Nicole. Just going to scroll down, because there is a message here. Hi Phil, my very best thoughts for you and a little supports. Have a nice moment in this week. Hug and cheers. So thank you for that, Nicole. And that was actually Monday evening, 2 minutes past 9. So thank you for that, Nicole. And Lillian has donated £20.61. Thank you for that, Lillian. And the message is, Happy New Year, Phil. Rock. So Happy New Year to you as well, Lillian. And I'm just making sure we're actually getting quite up to date here. That was at 1:30. Actually, this morning, so yeah, I thought it was this afternoon, but we are getting there because Tammy has donated £10, and this was at 37 minutes past 10 this evening. So thank you for this, Tammy. And let me get this up on screen so you guys can see it as well, because we're a little bit more recent now. The message is, "Hi Phil, Happy New Year to you and all my lovely winger friends. May this be the best year ever for everyone. Rock." So thank you, Tammy, for that £10 donation. And the message, and I hope that it is going to be the best year ever for all of us. I mean, that would be great, but we'll just have to keep on, joining up on a Tuesday and a Saturday and find out how everybody is doing and how our years are going. But I don't really know how we judge how well it's going. At the moment, everything seems to be going okay with the live stream and having set it up and everything, even though, I was a little bit distracted before we started, but everything seems to be fine. So, fingers crossed. I think with the year going into 2023, we're just going to keep on doing everything as we've done it, hope for the best, see what happens, see what opportunities arise. And I'm just planning to get back into the schedule of a video on Wednesday, Friday and Sunday, and then the live streams on a Tuesday and Saturday. The reason that I was just thinking about the videos, I don't know, it's something that I'm thinking about for the future, because I get so many emails from people who are musicians, either professional musicians or recreational musicians, or they might have a band, they might be a cover band, they might be an original band, and they're asking me to listen to their stuff. Whether at some point, I have said to, obviously I get a lot of emails, but I had to say to everybody that I can't feature anybody on the channel, because it means that I would then have to feature everybody, and that's going to be impossible unless I have some kind of segment on the channel that is purely a night where we feature a band or an artist, or even just guitarists that have sent me them playing. So I mean, that's something that I've got an idea to do with, in the future, whether we just have an almost introducing day of the week where we look at a band or an artist who are happy for me to feature their music on the channel. But it's not something that I've spent any time really seriously thinking about setting up for, this month or even for 2023, but maybe it's something that I can do in 2023. But like I said, we'll just see what opportunities come up. But I think that would be a cool thing to do, to have that kind of spotlight on different artists, so that people can come along and that we're not just constantly looking at very well-known guitarists, but also maybe putting the spotlight on lesser-known guitarists, lesser-known artists and musicians who are just trying to make their way in the music industry, or even just independent musicians like me who, have got their music released either iTunes, Amazon, on their own website, and people can go and check it out and buy it if they do like it. But we will see. Maybe that's something that we can do in the future. But like I said, 2023 is very young. We're only a few days into it, but we will see what happens in the future. And I can see that there have been 2 more donations. So let me just get that up on screen. It is Steve who has donated £5. So thank you for that, Steve. And the message is, how do you pair chords to create a unique sound when 2 guitars are playing a synchronized lead? So thank you for that, Steve. And I mean, in terms of, pairing chords, if you've got 2 guitars that are synchronizing, playing in harmony with each other, playing separate lines, they have to be relevant to the underlying chords, of course. So that means that you have, if you've got 2 guitars playing 2 separate lead lines, I'm assuming you mean if you want to pair chords, whether you mean a pair of chords or a pair of guitarists. Having 4 guitarists in a band is rare, but let's just say, for example, that's what you mean for the sake of argument, because, the other answer is really easy, because you just, play the chords underneath and the guitarists go to their shapes, and all the shapes that they'll know, all the scales that they know, will harmonize with each other because they are notes from the scale of the chord that's being played. So that way round's very easy. If you're saying the chord progression or the chords underneath are being played by 2 guitarists, but they're the same chords, that's when you go to different voicings. So you'll have, like, if you do play guitar, you'll know how you've got the cage system, CAGED, obviously, and that's how you spell it, but those refer to shapes. So on the guitar, you've got a C shape, you've got an A shape, you've got a G shape, you've got an E shape, and you've got a D shape. So it means that those shapes, you can move them up the guitar, I mean, very easily if you use a capo, but you can move them up the guitar by barring with your first finger, and some of them are easier to play than others, such as the A shape and the E shape. That's why that's commonly the most used bar chords that you will see. But if you've got, say, for example, one guitar playing the E shape of the chord, it means that the next shape of the chord as you move up will be the D shape of the chord, and the other guitarist can play that version of the chord, and it'll mean he has to stretch a bit and maybe bar with a third finger, even just play a sus2 version, which would just be a slightly different voicing of the chord, the underlying chord. But that's how you'd generally play two of the same chord. You wouldn't have the guitarist or two guitarists playing the same chord in the same place. You'd have them playing different voicings, which means that the second guitarist will move to a different location on his guitar. And yeah, I've just said about moving up a couple of frets, but you can move up as high as you want to for each voicing of the chord. If you want to have a sus2 or whatever, or if you want to just play the same chord, even if you play the same chord higher up, you're getting a higher sound, a higher voicing of that same chord. So yeah, that's it. You might be playing a sus2 down at the bottom, whatever your chord might be. You might be playing a sus2 higher up. The version higher up will sound different because that high E string and the B string won't be like hearing an open string at the bottom. It would be barred. But anyway, I hope that has answered your question, Steve. But yeah, generally, that's how it's going to work. It's going to be the chord first and the lead happens after that. You don't really have people playing lead guitar and then somebody's now trying to work out what chords to play underneath that. It always goes the other way around, because they'll be sitting there forever, especially if the guitarists are playing all over the place. It'll be impossible to play the chord at the right time with the changes, because lead guitar is very much a flowing thing, and even when they're playing over a particular chord, that lead guitar can go all over the place depending on how progressive you want to make it. But anyway, thank you for that, Steve. And just to jump into this next one that's coming from Kim for £20. Thank you for that, Kim. And the message is, hi Phil, welcome to 2023. It looked touch and go there for a while as to whether or not you'd still be with us. So glad you are. Are you or any of your family members involved in any charities, or do you give to any regularly at Christmas? For example, hugs from Canada, Kim. So thank you for that, Kim. I think the main charities that I give to and my parents give to are cancer related, just because my grandmother died from cancer, and she died unfortunately when my dad was very young, still in his kind of early 20s. So I mean, we know a lot of people family-wise as well. My godmother died from cancer. So yeah, that's what I think we tend to give to most readily. That's the one that I give to most readily. So yeah, I think we're just very much focused on that. I mean, there are so many different charities to give to, and it's very difficult making that decision. And, obviously, everybody would love to give to lots of different charities, like every charity possible, but everybody's got a set amount of funds that you've got to heat your house and do all these things that I've already mentioned earlier. But if you do have any extra, and if we do have any extra, that's just kind of where we tend to lean towards, just because of our history. I know that everybody's different, and everybody has their own choices as to different charities that they give to, but yeah, we just tend to lean in that direction. But thank you for that, Kim, and welcome to 2023 as well. And everybody in that live chat room, this is a brave new world at the moment, just a few days into it. We're yet to see what 2023 has in store, but fingers crossed it will be level with 2022. Hopefully it will improve. I mean, that's always the idea, is that year on year our lives hopefully will get better, but we will see. So thank you for that, Kim. And I can see another donation's just come in, but just to get into that super chat window, because I can see Joe Guns donated $45.17. Thank you for that, Joe. And that is a straight up donation without a message there. So thank you again, Joe. David donated with $2. So thank you for that, David. And it is another straight up donation. And Philip donated $20 as well. Thank you for that, Philip. And the message is, love your energy and your expertise. So thank you for that, Philip. So, I mean, this is another thing. It just reminds me of a comment I had on the channel yesterday, was it? Maybe a couple of days ago. I can't remember. But somebody was, commenting saying, what makes you think you've got the right to analyze this guitarist? I can't remember. It might have been Richie Blackmore. It might have been. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But somebody was saying, what gives you the right to do that? You've got to be so big-headed to think that you can comment on, someone of this guitarist's ability and all that kind of stuff. And I was trying to make them understand that I'm not randomly saying, right, okay, I'm going to now analyze this guitarist because I think I'm really good and I'm good enough to do it. So every single video is requested. So sometimes it might be multiple people that have all asked me to look at a particular performance of a particular guitarist. So if people ask me for my opinion or for an analysis, when I say opinion, I make sure that my videos are as analytical but also as objective as possible, because anyone can load up a video and say, oh wow, that's great. But to say why it's great, that's the important thing. That's why you make the video, or certainly why I would make the video, to answer the questions that people have asked me as to, what are they playing at this time in the video? What effects are they using to get that sound? What technique did they use at that point in the video? I answer all of these things in the analysis videos because they've been asked of me. And it's not something that I make the decision. Other people ask me to do it, so they've made the decision in their minds that they'd like to know what is going on, and they think that I can explain it. I mean, I have been a guitar teacher for over 15 years, so, I think that, I know a little bit about it, and being a professional musician myself as well, you think, well, other people that I look at are professional musicians, and this is another thing that I think people kind of lose track of, is that everyone that people know, they're just a professional musician. They're just, writing music, selling their music, playing their guitar. And the most important thing about playing the guitar or any form of artistry is just to be yourself and put it out there and just hope that people like it. But then even if they don't, as long as you enjoy it, that's the most important thing. So everyone that you see is just the same as everyone that might not get the spotlight. There are loads of fantastic musicians who aren't world famous, but they are great and they're just doing what they do. So just that, because somebody's got the spotlight on them, it doesn't mean that they are different to somebody else who's a musician. It's just that, they just have the spotlight on them. There'll be somebody else who's having, a great career independently and quite happy just being themselves and being an artist. So yeah, it's just all about just looking at people like artists, and, there's no competition in music. One player, one artist isn't better than another. You might prefer their music, but it doesn't make them, score more when it comes down to the competition of music. Everybody's different. So yeah, I think, looking at other musicians is great in order to see what they're doing and to actually see what all of these musicians and singers, as we do on the channel, what they've got in common and what makes them great. And then if you are a musician yourself, or even if you're just approaching singing, for example, recreationally, from the analysis of great singers' voices, we can start to break down what they're doing and apply it to our own singing, because everyone wants to improve and, get the best out of their voice. So if you can start copying what the great singers do, because that's all the great singers did. They were influenced by other great singers and they analysed their favourite singers' voices, saw what they were doing, and when they sang themselves, they took on a lot of those techniques and stylizations and then became great themselves. And it just goes like that, generation by generation. You just keep on looking at people, analysing your favourite guitarist, singers, and then hope that you can do something that people might like as well, just putting your own twist on what you're influenced by. But yeah, and this is where we get to the whole argument of people saying, oh, you need to do something different in order to be successful because what you're doing has already been done before. And that's totally wrong. The people that have been trying to do something different every single album or every single song that they make, they haven't got anywhere because they haven't got an identity. Just be yourself. And then, I mean, there are great musicians who have been themselves and changed their sound because that's part of them. That's their personality, that they're changing their sounds. They're not trying to find what people like. They're just naturally producing great music the way that they do. And that's such an important thing as well. Never try and please people or second guess what you think people will like, because then you're never going to get anywhere. Just choose what you like, and if you enjoy it, other people will enjoy it as well, and you'll have the motivation to get better and to do music full stop. Because, you know, when you want to do something full time, you've got to accept it is going to be full time, so you might as well be doing the music that you love to play rather than doing music that you don't really like but you think other people will like, and then you have to do it, you know, 18, 19 hours a day. So yeah, just for your mental well-being, it's better to go in that direction. Anyway, thank you for that, Philip, even though it wasn't really a question. I just kind of went off into something there. But thank you, A. Briggs, as well, who has donated $4.99. And the message is, just want to say how much I appreciate your videos. I learned something new in each one. You must put in a lot of time and research. Thank you for that. So thank you for that donation. I mean, with the videos, I tend to just do a video on the video days that I do, which is like a Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. I just do a video, I just look at my requests and just pick one from there, look at the video, maybe, yeah, do a little bit of research, but it usually takes between, well, 6 to 10 hours to make a video, because then I do a lot of talking, I have to edit it down and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, if there are copyright blocks, all that kind of stuff, then it can take 12 hours to make a video, which is a bit of a pain, especially because I'm just doing it in a day. So it means that, yeah, my bedtime, it gets very late in the morning, or very early in the morning, technically. But yeah, I just approach each one as I go and just go through that same process. I mean, sometimes in my research, I will just uncover a little bit that I didn't know about, or that I think other people might not know about, and include that as well. And sometimes it is good to get a bit of background of the particular artist that we're looking at as well, because I do enjoy to share a bit of information like that. But thank you for that. And Bara has donated $2 as well. Thank you for that. The message is, just curious, what is that acoustic guitar behind you? So that is a Maton. It's on the other shoulder. Everything that I look at is reversed on the screen. So yes, that's a Maton acoustic guitar. So if I move this way, you might be able to see it a bit more clearly. And I mean, it is in quite a few analysis videos. I think if you watch some of those, obviously acoustic artists, we get the electric guitar out for more electric based stuff. But yeah, that was sent to me by Mario, who we haven't seen in a long time on the live streams, but Mario sent me the Maton and the guitar here, if I now hide my hand behind the microphone, but that's the Steve Vai signature gem, so he sent me that one as well. So as I always say, a huge thank you to Mario for that, and thank you Bara for that $2 donation as well. Just checking the likes goal, because I think we have reached it, but don't start doing anything yet, because we're going to be having the pick roulette tonight, which means that we hit the target last week, and this means that we're going to be having a pick roulette next week. And the entries for that aren't possible. It doesn't open the entries for that until after the pick roulette tonight. So stay tuned for that, and you'll be able to get your name on that wheel to go away with a signed Wings, a Pegasus pick, but also maybe a t-shirt, because we have a t-shirt roulette as well if we land on that segment of the wheel. Right, let's try to keep things organised. That's definitely going to be my resolution for 2013, to keep organised, as these live streams definitely need to be. Karen has donated £15 as well. Thank you for that, Karen. And that is a straight up donation in that PayPal window. So we are going to be, we are going to be jumping into the cover video for tonight. But it looks like it is really close. And I think Broken Wings is going to be the winner with 50% of the vote. It's about to go through the live chat room, and that would be like 50 points something. It'd be interesting to see the points. They don't show you that, unfortunately, in the YouTube polls. But so Broken Wings was the winner by point something of a percentile, if that's even a word. So I mean, congratulations if you did vote for that, because you're going to be seeing it, and commiserations to everybody that wanted Hotel California, because you almost won. It was very close. We will be jumping into this. We have a picture to look at. It's almost 10 to 1 here in the morning, so we're really going to have to move things along, keep organised, as I just said, but I hope you enjoy this, my version of the Mr. Classic Broken Wings, and I'll see you guys after. Rock!
Why we can't just hold on to each other's hands. This time may be the last, I fear, unless I make it all too clear. I need you so.
And there we have it. That was my version of Broken Wings by Mr. Mister. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And I did see in the live chat room about maybe somebody asking how many years ago that was. I think it's maybe 5 years ago, something like that. So yeah, not too long, but my hair was a lot shorter, as you can see. And yeah, it was actually kind of all over the place because I was in Brazil when that video was shot. So that was, nice to have a bit of a different backdrop rather than doing the green screen. But yeah, hair was a lot shorter, everything was organised, and I was literally younger, as I was when I started this live stream tonight, as we all were, unfortunately. But yeah, this is the thing, that 2023, I have a very big birthday, but that's all I'm going to say about that. We will continue to push on and try to, maybe just for the live streams, we can stop time just for an hour or an hour and a quarter, and we won't get any older, and then just resume after the live streams. So anyway, thank you guys for voting for that one tonight. We are just going to be jumping into a picture. And by the way, quick plug of the Wings of Pegasus supporters page over on Facebook. If you are a Facebook user, then you can head over there, join in with that group. And that's where we have the after party, which is hosted by Bob. And that's where the pictures are uploaded to, and then they're sent through to me so that I can show them on the live stream. So that's where and how I get the pictures, just in case you know. But if you're a Facebook user, head over there. Right, let's get the background up on screen. And I think we just got one picture for tonight, but it is one picture with a story of having a set of pictures, because it's a little bit small on my screen, which is annoying, but I can tell you that this is Paula on the left and Billy on the right, who are wingers who have met up in real actual life. And you can see on the screen behind, I'm going to read it because I made it a little bit big on my screen. It's RCA Studio B. RCA Records established a recording studio in this building in November 1957 with local offices run by guitarist producer Chet Atkins. Its success led to a larger studio known as Studio A, built next door in 1964. Studio B recorded numerous hits by Elvis Presley, the Everly Brothers, Roy Orbison, Don Gibson, Charlie Pride, Jim Reeves, Dolly Parton, and many others, along with Bradley Studios. Studio B is known for developing the Nashville sound. So in case you guys didn't know, that's given it away at the end as to where these ladies are and where they are posing. So thank you, Paula and Billy, for posing and for getting together. It's always great when we have wingers actually meet up in real actual life. And you will be able to notice that Billy's got on the Wings of Pegasus hoodie and Paula's got on the Wings of Pegasus t-shirt, of course. But there are a few other pictures, I believe, which is on the Wings of Pegasus supporters page over on Facebook. So you can check out the post that this comes from and check out those pictures as well. So that's a good reason to head over there and see the other pictures that have been uploaded by Paula and Billy from, their get-together in Nashville. So that's the picture that we have tonight. As I said, there's a bit of a background story to it. But we are going to be moving into the pick roulette now, and hopefully I've set this up correctly. Like I said, setting up the stream, I got a little bit distracted, but fingers crossed it'll be okay, and the graphics are still working, everything. So hopefully I'll see you guys in a second. Rock. So let's get the wheel up on screen, and that almost didn't work, but I've got away with it. So yeah, everybody watching this will be will be oblivious to the fact we almost just came back to me, whereas I would have been looking at the camera and nothing would have been going on. I would have been actually looking at the screen trying to click on all the right buttons, but we have it. It is here. And if this is your first pick roulette, you'll see that there's some darker segments here, which are the t-shirts. If we land on one of those, then we have a t-shirt roulette. But if we land on a name, which is the point of this roulette wheel, then somebody wins. Well, the person that we land on, they win the signed Wings of Pegasus pick. So we give the wheel a spin and we see who is going to win. Oh, we haven't done the top tip yet. So I'm going to have a quick look. Okay, D Emma 1972 says pick me. So there we go. D Emma or Dema or Emma D or Dema 1972 is going to be the top tip for tonight. So let's give the wheel a spin and see who is going to win. And we have a pick roulette every time we hit the likes goal at the top right hand side of your screen. So that's what that's all about. And we have the pick roulette the next week. So obviously when you hit the goal, you can then enter in for the pick roulette for the next week. Tune in. You have to be in it to win it. As I always say, you have to be in that live chat room if we land on your name, because Carla needs to get all of your details to send off the Wings of Pegasus pick. We are slowing down and we're just going past the t-shirt. Okay, we're getting close to Elisa A, Melissa, David. So it looks like it's not going to be a top tip win tonight. This is going to be close between David and Scotsman, and it has just crept over to Scotsman. So congratulations to you. If you can let yourself be known to Carla in that live chat room, that would be fantastic, so that she can get all the details that she needs to send you that Wings of Pegasus signed pick. Commiserations to everyone else, including Dema 1972. But as I always say, double your chances of winning by tuning in on a Tuesday night and a Saturday night, because we have a pick roulette on both of the live streams, and the live streams happen at 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time, by the way. So let's get back to me, hopefully. Here we go. And oh, it looks like the camera's turned me all dark again. But thank you, Ron, for that $5 donation in the super chat window, and the message was "You rock." So thank you, Ron. Thank you, everybody, for the very kind donations in the super chat window and also in the PayPal window. I am just going to address one that's popped in there. It is Jill, who donated £7.94. Thank you for that, Jill. And the message was just saying hi, Phil. So hi, Jill. Hi, Phil. Hi, Jill. So we've got a bit of rhyming going on with our names, which is always a bonus. And let me see if I can say stop to the camera in order to get the lighting a little bit better. When I put my hand in front of the camera, it's just a little trick. I then come away and it makes everything light again. So I don't know as to why that happens, and sometimes the camera gradually gets darker. We just have to roll with it, see what happens. Right, so that is good. We've been through the pick roulette. We've done the cover as well. It's 1 a.m. Right, so entries for next week's pick roulette. I mean, it's already opened. As soon as we end the pick roulette, the entries open, as you can see. And I mean, you can see everybody typing here, but I always do a little example of at Carla Murray, I agree, like that. Optional exclamation mark. So if you want to get your names on next week's pick roulette, because we have hit the target of 335 for tonight, 392. Thank you everyone for those thumbs up. You can keep on doing that. If you're watching in the future, part of that catch-up crew, then you can keep hitting that thumbs up, but give a thumb up. I suppose it's the same thing. It really does help the live stream to get out there and for the channel to grow on the whole. So, yes, get your name in that live chat room in order to get your name on the pick roulette wheel. Just make sure you copy what everyone's doing if you haven't done it before. At Carla Murray, I agree. So, I mean, what we normally have, I think we're up to date with everything. What we normally have towards the end of 2022, the Phil Jams started kicking off. So, it gives you guys time to enter in for the pick roulette. So what we will do, we'll start 2023 with a jam type thing. And what happens is I just get a random backing track going. We try to play along. We see what happens. But I know that Joe sent me some backing tracks in a message. over on Patreon, and I've got Patreon on this page, which I have to change to, and I'm just going to have a little look through there because we have had some requests for the Phil Jam. But if I go to the right place there and move that over here, right, so I'm just going to click on one at random, and right, we have gone for, or the one that's popped up is Uplifting Progressive Rock Guitar Backing Track, E minor / A minor. So that's the key, by the way. So we'll have a go at that one, and it's going to be progressive. A lot of the stuff that we've done has just been kind of straightforward blues. I say that, but we had funkadelic something. I can't remember what it was. Funkadelic rock or progressive rock. There's certainly some funk in there somewhere. And what else? We had some kind of ballads as well, different tempos, and of course just kind of straight minor blues, I think it's tended to be. So we'll have a little listen to this. I'll grab the guitar and we'll see if I'm just going to make sure that we've gone dark again. I moved away from the camera and yeah, everything's gone a bit dark, so we're just going to have to deal with it. I'm just wondering whether my guitar is actually in tune or not. I mean, it's roughly there, hopefully. So, I mean, I think we're a little bit... Right, we're going to be in E minor, apparently, so... Hopefully we'll be around there. Let's have a listen and see what is going on with this. And by the way, as for the levels, we're just going with it. Hopefully you can hear my guitar. I don't know how loud the backing track is. It's always going to be a bit random, playing to random backing tracks. But by the way, this is from Q Jam Tracks, and that's a capital Q, capital J, small AM, and then a capital T for the tracks. So yeah, if you guys want to go out and check if you do play guitar, you want to go out and check the backing tracks on the channel, then you can check it out. Q Jam Tracks. This is Uplifting Progressive Rock Guitar Backing Track, if you guys want to play along as well. Right, let's have a listen. Oh, the first page is Learn and Play E natural minor and minor pentatonic scale, A natural minor and minor pentatonic scale, blues note, A harmonic scale, G sharp diminished arpeggio, C Lydian arpeggio, borrowing scales, triad arpeggios, Hotel California style. So those, I think, are all of the backing tracks that you can get from this channel. So, and that's what we see on the front page. But let's just start this, and I want to make sure that I can actually hear it. Okay, it's a little bit quiet on my end, so I'm going to have to turn it up. And it's up tempo. Got a lot of changes going on here. It's keeping me on my toes. Can't hear whether we've gone major. Maybe we have. A minor. Should have remembered that change from last time. I'm always waiting for like a change. Oh, by the way, type I agree, tag Carla Murray in your comment in order to get your name on next week's Pick Roulette. I don't know how long this is going to last for. Oh, we're about halfway through. Waiting for it to go to the E. It goes to E at some point, like major. There. Oh no, that's C. Just remembered I'm not holding my guitar up like I did before. So you can't see what I'm doing on the fretboard. Apologies for that. That sounds major to me. A little bit out of tune on the low E. Type I agree, tag Carla Murray in your comment to get your name on next week's Pick Roulette wheel. You've got to be close to the end here. 18 seconds. And there we have it, and cancel the next video before we get a little bit crazy. But that is from Q Jam Tracks. Now, the thing is about playing along with that is it sounded like, even though it doesn't say, it says E minor, A minor, there was definitely a kind of C major in there, it sounded like. So yeah, I thought there's like E majors. I mean, when you're trying to play along and listen at the same time, yeah, it is quite difficult. So if I went major and it actually was a minor chord and I couldn't distinguish it because the backing track was too quiet coming out of the speakers, then I apologise for that little section of whatever I was playing. But yes, hopefully it sounded all right. But this is the thing, we just go with whatever I click on. And thank you, Joe, for that list of tracks. Again, I just got that from the personal message that you sent over. And yeah, I mean, it is a fun one. It's always fun just to, go with the wind, fly with the wind, but play along with something that, yeah, you haven't kind of worked out a solo. I mean, especially if it's like 10 minutes and then you literally can't work out a solo for that length of time. Or if you did, it would take you a very, very long time. So sometimes it's fun just to load up something random and just play along. But anyway, hopefully you guys... Oh, let me just mention that there was a donation that came in from David for $1.99. Thank you for that, David. And it says something with an arrow, but I can't see exactly what it is because it's a little bit too small. But thank you for that donation, David, and thank you guys for joining me tonight and all of your kind donations. As I always say, you don't have to donate, but they are very much appreciated. And thank you for your company tonight, everybody in that live chat room. So we are going to be calling it a night for tonight and bringing things to a close. I am planning on getting a video out tomorrow night, and then Friday night, and then Saturday night back to the live streaming again, and then a video Sunday. I'm aiming this week to get back in the schedule. I know that because of the end of the year, obviously with Christmas week and New Year's, it all gets a little bit muddled up, and especially with the whole health issue thing that happened at the end of last year, it's now just a case of getting back into the schedule and getting back into my normal daily routine that I go through. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me tonight. I hope that you have enjoyed it. Thank you for hitting that thumbs up, and if you are watching this in the future, you can keep on hitting that thumbs up. It really does help. So big shout out to the moderators as well for doing such a fantastic job. And as I always say, try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live in, and have a great rest of the week, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Rock!